Okay, welcome back. This is UrAvgChinese. My name is Zhou, and today we'll be taking a trip back to the memory lane. And already showing on the screen is something that is quite unique, I think. It is called the Temporary Residence Permit or Temporary Living License for Beijing City. And it is issued specifically for Chinese nationals living in China, in Beijing specifically. So, as a Chinese national living in China needs to have this access extra on the top permit, which is, you figure, right? You go take a taste. I'm very restrained to comment. And so this is basically anyone without a birth certificate in Beijing City needs to have this one in order to be recognized or be seen be received by the municipality. Without this, you're basically invisible. You're basically transparent. You are not allowed to access any public services, and you will not be allowed to even have a public government position. Here we don't call it a civil servant. There is no serving part. It's a possession. It's a owning of power, right? So it's called government positions, government officials. Anyone who are employed by the government, even a very small clerk, the lowest position, it's called a official. So you need to have this. Otherwise, when you get sick, you go to the hospital, you need to pay the full amount by yourself, which is relatively to a income level very high, or even though absolutely speaking, across the world, it's not cheap. And the medical care service, which your contribution been taken from your employment, will not be open to you. You will not be able to access it. So very bad if you don't have this and you want to go to hospital. And if you have a child or children and they needs to go to school, it is a right to receive education, essential education, by the age of 15. But you cannot go to this place that you're living in. This municipality will not be recognizing you and your kid, so your kid will have to go back to where you were born. You are basically anchored to the birthplace not really to the birthplace. You're anchored to your parents' residence location, so you cannot move out of there. If you need to have this temporary residence permit for your kid to even be able to consider for the local school. The place that you work and you live right now, to be enrolled in that. And I'm saying it's one of many hoops. It's one of many requirements. But this one is essential. It is the alpha. It is the beginning of the long process of obtaining maybe 5 or 7 or 15 permits or licenses or evidence to support that your kid can be enrolled in the local municipalities sponsored or funded schools. So this one is essential, and it is called Beijing's Municipality Temporary Residence Permit, issued by Beijing's Public Safety Bureau. And let's just have a look. So it actually says, the first page that you open it, it says this permit is for domestic nationals from foreign places, I would say, foreign municipalities coming into Beijing city to reside temporarily. This is a legal proof. And the second point is, all permits, all license, all government issued things, government issued paper require this. It needs to be preserved properly, and you need to carry it with you all the time. All the time. It says here, all the time. And prepare for examination. You need to carry it with you all the time. Prepare for examination, right? Try to imagine to practice this. You carry this with you all the time and be ready to be examined all the time. All the time, right? For my friends in America, think about that. How many people carries their ID all the time? And this is not ID, this is a temporary residence permit. If you are here, you have your ID with you all the time, but you don't have this temporary residence permit with you, you can be in trouble, right? If they want to examine you for this and you don't have it, there is, I wouldn't call it an excuse. It's very legit because it says here you need to carry it all the time and be ready to be examined. You need to carry your ID, you need to carry your temporary residence permit, and many other things as well, according to what's described here, instructed here. And it cannot be forged, it cannot be tinkered, it cannot be borrowed or lent. And if there is a missing of this permit, you need to immediately report to your nearest residence public safety bureau and have another issuance of such. When the temporary residence address changes, you need to it is your responsibility to immediately report to the nearest public safety bureau and have it amended, have the address amended. And this permit, the validity of it, it's only 1 year, and pass beyond the valid period, it'll be invalid, and you need to do it again. You need to apply and issue again. And I don't know what the C means. I think it's I'm a peasant. I'm an ant. I'm a small individual here. I don't really know how A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or there's an S. Basically, it is a classification number, a classification letter. And if someone out there can explain further, please do. But this is really a classification. I don't know what it is. I hope or I wish C stands for citizen, but it's not likely to be so. I think A, B, C, D, it should be a very low tier to be ranked as C. So, we're tiered. Every man was born equal. Let's hope. Right. Okay. So the next one is its actual content, the information that it is required to be recorded. Your name, your gender, your DOB, date of birth, and the date you come into this city, right? And also your permanent residence address, which is the location that is registered from where you come from, the place of your parents' residence of permit is registered, right? So it's like a foreign province or foreign city address rather than this municipality. In this case, it's Beijing. And the temporary location, temporary address, which is where you live in this city. And current service providing location or entity, which will be, if you're a government official, which department or which faculties that you're working in, or the employer's location, employer's address, the company, the body or institution that you work for. And this is the ID number, and here is the validity date, beginning and end. And there is a serial number here. And on the right-hand side of this page, it says a changing of address record. So you need to change every time you move. And you probably don't have a property in this place because you just moved here, so you rent. So you need to change it, and you probably, it is very unrealistic to think someone must rent a place and live by 1 year, by 1 year, by 1 year. So, but every time you move, you need to change the moving out date, the moving address, and the moving in date. So every move in terms of residency has been recorded here. And here is a overdue record. So if you didn't update yourself with this address moving in a timely manner, you will be recorded penalties here. And this one is the last, which has the page on the right, which could be take some notes, is that the record of examination. So it'll record when you're examined, required to present yourself with this temporary residence permit, and you provide it, and then they will give you a record of examination and its date and the result of the examination, and also the institution body, the governmental body who practiced the examination. So this is what it's looked like, a temporary residence permit for its own national in its municipality level. Right, okay, thank you. So today, just to wrap up, I shared with you the temporary residence permit for the Beijing municipality, issued for those ones who are not born and raised in Beijing, so outside of Beijing, but Chinese nationals come into Beijing to live, to work, to study, to go to hospitals, to access to all the public services. Without this, you are not allowed. You will be denied. You are invisible. You are not here, even though you are here. Okay, thank you, and hopefully I'll bring you more of this kind of very specific, very authentic materials. All right, see you in the next.